ತಾವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟೇ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರಿ.
ಹೌದೌದೌದೌದು.
ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ ದ ವಿಲೇಜ್. ನಾವಂತೂ ಇರ್ಲೇಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ತಾವುಗಳು ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರಿ.
ಹೌದೌದೌದು. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಟೀಚರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಉಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕಿತ್ತು.
ಹ್ಞೂ ಸರ್.
ಈಗೇನಾಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೊದ್ಲು
ಆಗಿಂದಾಗೆ ನಾರಾಯಣಗೌಡರು ಬರೋರು, ಜಡೆ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬರೋರು.
ಹೌದು ಹೇಳಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ರಾಮೇಗೌಡ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಿ
ಸರ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಪಿಪಿಟಿ ಮೋಡ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋಗೆ ಹೌದಾ?
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ.
ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಡು ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ?
Sorter model ಇದೆ. Slide sorter model. We are seeing all slides on the sides.
Okay. All slides on the slide. Oh, you're seeing all the slides?
Yeah. On the slide.
One second. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. Slideshow. Okay, I got it. From the beginning. Okay. Yeah, you got it now?
No, maybe you can unscreen and screen or share again.
Online ಇದೆ.
ಇದೆಯಾ ಈಗ?
No, sir. You can unshare it and share it again. That would be great if you can.
Okay. Let me go back. No?
Yeah.
Let me go back. One ನಿಮಿಷ.
ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, sir. We have sufficient time.
One ನಿಮಿಷ. Let me get out and come back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, let me get out completely and come back. I think that will be better. ಈಗ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ? Hello?
Mode.
No, it is in the same mode. So
we can see the slides.
we
You can
see
see slides, right? Okay.
Yeah, we can see slides.
Okay.
But not in the slide mode, sir.
It's in the slide mode. I think slideshow ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. I don't know how that relays are happening.
That's true. So is it possible to share the slide to us, sir, so that we can
Okay. What do you want me to tell me what I have to do?
send it by email, or Ganesh Murthy, can you just help them out?
Okay. Or you want me to share by mail? I can do that. Okay.
Ganesh Murthy ಇದಾರಲ್ಲೇ?
Yes, sir.
Ganesh Murthy?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay. Can you help him?
Let me go back and then go back. Sorry, go back. I'm going to share the slides first. Whose email should I send it to?
Sir, just a moment. You can do it. Slideshow.
Otherwise also okay, sir.
You
No
can,
problem.
You can, sir. You can try share once again, and you can share the full screen, sir. So that when you go to the slideshow, also it will come.
Okay, okay,
Can
one second. Yeah, now it is full screen.
No,
Is it
sir,
okay?
no, sir, it is giving the full view only. It is coming. It is not the slideshow.
Okay, okay, one second.
So you can again you can share. Click on the share.
Now,
That's fine, sir, perfect.
yes.
Oh, it's fine now?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, let me go back. Okay. Okay.
perfect, no problem, sir.
Oh, no problem now? Okay, one second, hold on. Okay, let me see. Let me do this one now. I had to share now. Okay, wonderful. Right, share the screen. Okay. Oh, where's my thing? Okay. I'm just trying to find my thing. One second.
Bad example.
Can you see my slides now? Sorry.
You can go to slideshow mode, sir.
Okay, one second, hold on. Slideshow. Yeah, I got it. Can you see now?
It is,
One second.
There'll be some time lag.
It's not? Okay. One second, hold on. Oh. Let me do this one. Okay. It's audio. It's actually sharing it. Actually, it says your screen is being shared.
Natraj. Natraj.
Yes, sir.
Karba, this is also okay, no problem now.
So we are viewing the slides.
This is also okay, clearly visible to each and everyone.
Is it okay?
Yeah, no problem, sir. You can continue, in fact.
Okay, one second, sir. Okay, I made it.
now it's okay, sir.
We'll stay like this, sir. It works.
It is
Okay,
working.
it works. Okay, okay. Very good. Let me start that actually. Good morning, everyone. Actually, this is my name is Ram Belakare.
Sir, we have a small thing to announce from the directorate before you start, sir. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
We just want to make a small introduction. Good morning to all. We started our PG Science Week 2024 yesterday with the inaugural session. And during this, we had a keynote address by our former dean and our professor, Dr. Ganeshaya, which was an excellent talk. And then we had poster and oral presentations. So we are beginning our talk today with, again, invited talk by Dr. Ramegowda, who is alumnus of our university and who is settled in US. And this will be followed by, again, poster and oral session. Now I take the pleasure to introduce Dr. Ramegowda in brief. Dr. Ramegowda Belakare is alumnus of US Bangalore. He obtained his PhD from USB. Later, he moved to USA and changed his field to medicine and did his MD at Ross University, West Indies. Dr. Ramegowda has 16 years of experience as hospitalist, director, associate regional director. He is serving as director hospital medicine, Houston Methodist Hospital, Willbrook, Texas. Dr. Ramegowda Belakare is also serving and leading as a member of multiple hospitals, improvement committees, executive education, Rice University School of Business, Physician Leadership Program, Physician Advisor, Hospital Capacity Command Center, Throughput Improvement Center, Physician Advisor, AI Program, PIE CES, application of AI for patient care, participated in different hospital committees. He has license and certificates such as board certified family medicine, Texas physician license, current ACLS certificate, member American Association of Family Practice and member Society of Hospital Medicine. Dr. Ramegowda Belakare has been awarded with several awards. American Physician Writing Contest Runner-Up Award, Best Physician Award 2011 for working with case managers in assisting discharge planning, Lufkin, Texas, Best Research Paper Award for paper titled Prevalence, Mortality and Treatment of Anemia in Heart Failure Patients, a meta-analysis of cross-cultural studies, Kansas Family Practice Annual Meeting and Scientific Session, Kansas. Nicest Resident, Department of Family Medicine, KUMC. Dr. Ramegowda Balikere published The Pocket Book, a short compendium of effective and efficient patient-centered care, and Hospital Medicine Pocket Guide, Patient Care, Documentation, Coding, and Critical Issues. And he has also published several research papers. Dr. Ramegowda is currently heading a team of 44 hospitals as director, covering 300 inpatients a day. So we welcome you, sir, for this PG Science 2024, and now we request you to begin with your invited talk.
Well, thank you very much. That was a long resume of Balakare. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone who is participating in this program. And good morning. Actually, I've been actually I got out of when I got out of University of Agricultural Sciences. I came to Texas and I joined my wife, who was doing a PhD in cytogenetics. Then later, we both of us moved to the medicine, and then we are now both of us are doctors. Actually, the thing is, actually, we were guided by Dr. Jairamaya, who is a hard worker in our field, actually, and also Narayan Gowda, and also we had Jadesh Srinivasmurthy, Setura, and all that. These are really rich, people in terms of the knowledge base that they had, and they guided us to go to these directions. In fact, I selected a topic for you. I don't know whether you like it or not, but I try my best. And actually, yesterday you had the talk by Dr. Ganesha, sir. Now, I know Ganesha for a long time. Actually, we were actually Science Forum member there. So, he is brilliant personality. And also you have one more tomorrow with Dr. Prakash. Also, I know him too. He's also a personality, a very big personality. In between this, you guys have sandwiched put me in between these two stalwarts, and I'm presenting a topic which is not relevant to you. I try my best to keep your interest in this topic and also make sure you learn something from this one. So now before I go back to that, let me do a little bit of my situation here. Actually, we stay in a rural area on a farm, 32-acre farm. This is our house, and this is my wife, Jayanti, is playing with those little ones we had recently. And these are my two kids who are still in college. And this is my kitchen garden, and then we have these cows and the goats, and we have a big shed for them, and with the tractor and also chicken. So we are actually leading a rural life. We have not forgotten agriculture. We are still living together with the same. With that, we are away from the city and almost 45 minutes from the city, and we are living here in the rural area with the rural comforts. Then let me go back now to the actual topic that I'm supposed to talk, and let me give some the historical perspective for this artificial intelligence. Actually, this is one of the movie. Actually, this is one of the novel actually written by Isaac Asimov in 1940s. Actually 1942 he published this novel. It's actually science fiction novel, and this is the novel published about the robots. And this is the gentleman actually. He's actually a biochemist like Ganesha, who is now writing books and novels and whatever it is. He's a biochemist, and then he's the one who wrote. They actually gave the concept. He introduced this idea of robots to this world by his book, although he's a biochemist. Then he actually set some rules for this. For those robots, he said that robot should follow the commands of the human beings, and should not. In second law was it should not injure the human beings, and also should protect themselves, not hurting the first two principles. That is, not hurting the human beings or not asking somebody else to hurt you. So this is how they set the boundaries for what the robot should do back in the days itself. Then who is the father of this artificial intelligence? This is the one. This is a gentleman actually. His name is Turing. Actually, he is the one during the World War II. What he was doing actually, this Nazi people were sending all these codes of the war. He actually, British government appointed him. He's a mathematician as well as the computer specialist at the time. The British government appointed him to break those codes. Actually, he come up with the mechanism to break the code, and then he became the father of the artificial intelligence. He actually is known for his actually small computer that he designed to break this code. And this is the Enigma is the machine used by the Nazis to make codes. Then the first time this term was used by the Dr. John McCarthy, and who is actually he's in Stanford. Actually, he's the one who first time used this artificial intelligence term. Then this is the research, the historical perspective of this one. Before we get to the details of this, let us learn something about what is the difference between the artificial intelligence and human intelligence. I want you to know these are the basics of important before to understand this topic better. One is the processing aspect of this. The processing by the artificial intelligence is based on the algorithms and the mathematical models as well as but for the human intelligence, it is based on the cognitive process, the biological structures. Learning for the artificial intelligence based on the data that we feed in and also the feedbacks that it gets. But for us, it's based on our experience, intuitions, and creativity. And also speed. Actually, they process the data very fast, the artificial intelligence, but the human beings are slower, but however, they do the complex decisions quickly. Adaptability of that artificial intelligence is very quick, but in the human being, it takes time, but they learn from experience and make decisions based on the context. Then this is the very important aspect of artificial intelligence is the lack emotions or empathy. But human beings, we have those emotions and empathy. But creativity-wise, we are creative, more creative, and also we are very imaginative, and also we are the ones who come up with the innovations. But those things are limited in this artificial intelligence. So actually, we have to feed in the data to create those kind of intelligence for that. And then ethics-wise, they have no ethics. Artificial intelligence, we have no ethics. But as human beings, we have moral code and conscience, and that guides our decision making. If you take the physical limitations, the computers, the artificial intelligence have no limitation. They can work 24/7, unlike the human beings. Then look at the investment trend by the private companies. I just want to give a global picture of how this artificial intelligence is evolving. If we look at this, in 2021, America was the leading American private investors, the leading investor in this artificial technologies, intelligence technology. Next, followed by the China. We are somewhere in the bottom. The India is somewhere in the bottom. Somehow these our Adanis or Ambanis are not investing in technology for some reason. I don't know. Then if you look at the research also, actually China is leading. This is the top, is that China is leading in the artificial intelligence research. We are still right somewhere here. America is somewhere here. China is actually, they're trying to capture this market as early as possible. Then what's the rationale is using this artificial intelligence in healthcare? One of the need is the healthcare professional shortage. The prediction is about by 2030, we'll have 18 million fewer healthcare professionals in the world. And also we have about 5 million fewer doctors than the society will require. That's one of the things driving force for this artificial intelligence. And also another one is the unequal distribution of healthcare workers in rural areas and urban areas. Supposing if you take in India or America, wherever it is, if you take the specialty service, cardiologists or anybody else, we see most of them in cities, not in the rural areas. So to complement this one, artificial intelligence is emerging as a market where the primary care workers in the rural areas can be helped by providing this specialist service. And also another thing is about the free physicians. Another thing is, you give more time for the physician to take care of the patient. Supposing what happens, if I have to see a patient for the first time, I'm spending on an average about 70 minutes, excuse me, 70 minutes to see the patient, to examine the patient, and write the HNP, history and physical for that patient after reviewing all the charts. That means, 35 minutes is about spent on seeing the patient, about 35 minutes is spent on the administrative work, typing notes, all of that. If the artificial intelligence, the technology can help us to write the notes for us or help us to prepare the notes for us, I'll be spending more time with the patient or seeing more patients. Another thing is improving the efficiency by improving the fast decision making. Our goal is to improve the efficiency of the healthcare workers. That actually somehow this artificial intelligence has a scope for us, and we can use that to make our decision faster. And then if you take the America, there is by 2030, we will be more than 100,000 physicians are short. So that's why America is also very keen on getting onto this artificial intelligence use for healthcare. Then what are the main areas, the potentials of this artificial intelligence in healthcare? One is the detection of the disease detection and diagnosis. Another one is the medical imaging and analysis. Next one is the treatment planning, personalized medicine, drug discovery, and predictive analytics using the data that is available, and administrative tasks. I'll come back to the details of each one of them later. Then comes to the customer side. This is the physician side. This is the customer side where the patients are admitted and discharged from the patient, helps to customer satisfaction. That means, many of these technologies are used to improve their customer satisfaction, the patient satisfaction. Patient satisfaction is very important. If the patient is admitted to the hospital in America, if they go home and give you a wrong rating, they'll send a questionnaire for them with about 27 questions. If they give you wrong ratings, whatever the money you get from the billing, the insurance company will be cut down by 2 to 3%. Similarly, we can also track the patient's progress when they go out using this technology. And also, we can check up on their health status. And also, we can see whether these people are taking the drugs that we prescribe on a regular basis. That means that's also important. When they don't take the drug, they will be readmitted. If the patients are readmitted within 30 days in America, that's also a penalty for the doctors and the hospitals. So these are the major area potentials. This is again, same thing is put in a pictorial form here. This is the top side is the clinical applications, and the bottom side is the administrative applications of the artificial intelligence. Monitoring the patient, guiding the surgical care, where we have these robotic surgeries. Actually, we are using the artificial intelligence and also predicting the health trajectories and also supporting the population health. We are using this technology. Actually, we are, many of them are using, and we are trying to use that too. And also at the office side, administrative application of that, we are trying to use them for the record building and also optimizing our operational process, and also use it for the repetitive process that we use in the hospital. We can take advantage of this technology. Then another one is this is actually a study that conducted by University of California, San Francisco. What is they compared the artificial intelligence model with the physicians. They actually shared about 110 imaging reports of the 753 patients, and they see how much time each one take. The AI model took about only 2 hours to review all this 1,100 images. versus the 28 hours taken by the physicians. Actually, we saved about 26 hours. That is amazing development in this field. The next one is about the predicting the atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation is the rhythm change. When the heart rhythm changes, it may be difficult for the patients to have to walk or to breathe and all that thing. That can be predicted by using the data. They used about 120,000 patients' data to predict them when they're going to have atrial fibrillation. That is, when they will have heart rhythm problem. Maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Actually, that data worked out really well. But I don't know whether it's good or bad. Sometimes if you predict and tell them that in 10 years, you will have this heart problem, patient will be worried, and you'll be worried for life. But moreover, you will be guiding them, what are the things you should do to avoid that? That's the beauty of it. That's why the prediction process is actually good in a way. Then the next potential is whether we can use in discovering the drugs, whether we can use the artificial intelligence. This is the first, that is the Insico is the medicine. It is a company actually. First time they fully designed this medicine, INSO 18-055, first drug to be designed completely by AI. And this is the medication used for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. This medication is in phase 2 now. Although when this paper was published, it was in phase 1, it is actually phase 2 now. This drug is showing some promise for the idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Idiopathic is, don't be pushed away by this word. Idiopathic is when the doctor doesn't know something. You always come up with a hype under whatever the terminology. Idiopathic is unknown. That is when we don't know, we don't call ourselves stupid, and we'll come up with some other technology called terms called idiopathic pulmonary disease. But it is a disease which causes a scarring of the lungs. Actually, the drug is actually showing some promise that this is the first drug designed in America by this AI technology. And the next one, this is another thing we are actually very, 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 we are using it very, very, very much here. That is the predictive analytics and the risk assessment. Risk assessment about disease risk assessment. By using the genetic predispositions on environmental exposures and the lifestyle choices of the patients, we can predict what disease they can get. This is a risk assessment is possible so that we can modify the behaviors not to have the disease in the future. And also another thing is advantage is prognosis prediction. We can predict the prognosis of certain cancers. Actually, this is another study using this RNA expression, point mutations, DNA methylation, and omics data of copy number variations. When this data was fed to this AI models, actually, they could predict at least 27 out of the 37 cancers prognosis. That is also a very good trend, actually. That is actually a useful information using this technology. Next one is look at these beautiful pictures. This is actually developed. These are pictures actually used, done by this deep learning toolkit, inner eye deep learning toolkit. If you look at the cancer here, so anybody can say how the progress, when you start reading, you can see whether they're shrinking or not. When the surgeon wants to take it out, you can go and take it out you can see the margins really clearly. And also look at this picture too. This is another radiation oncology. So beautifully represented by this one. And also there is a tumor here and the surgeon can go and take it out, surgical planning. So this is kind of a new trend that is useful for this and our healthcare workers, particularly the surgeons and the oncologists, and they can go and rely upon these technologies. So the artificial intelligence, what we use here, the machine learning, we use this artificial neural networks and deep learnings and convolutional neural networks. And also we use this natural language processing, that is for our documentation. You can extract the data, both structured as well as in unstructured. Whatever you written, it can always read. I can extract that. And also robotics, we can use when we have these robotic tools, the surgical tools, we can use this artificial intelligence to guide us to have a precise surgery. Then how do you design artificial intelligence? How do you design it? There are 4 stages in that. They're listed here. I just draw these things. This is one of the first. We have to create an intelligence. You have to come up with you have to develop an intelligence. What is the intelligence needed? Then when you decide that, we need to know the metrics. How do you measure that intelligence that you're going to develop? What's the scope of where can we apply this intelligence? Then next comes the business process. So how can we use this intelligence in the business process? Can we use it in strategic roles, or can we use it in operational roles? Then comes the AI technology development as such. Whether you're developing a new one or using the already established one, or you want to, intellectual patents, you want to get that, or then you have to think of what are the data strategies that you ought to use for this developed AI technology. Then once you develop the technology, then it goes to this tinkering stage. It's kind of more of a testing stage where we develop the software, we test the software, whether it is performing as we believe, as performing as we expected. And also, we also should know what are the AI limitations. They're called, actually, very crude language. They use this artificial intelligence cancers because they cause damage, harm to that. If you don't know the limitations of that, if you use it forever, for every aspect, every area that you want, you may cause damage to the system. That's why you have to be careful about that. This AI design has 4 stages and also 8 decision-making process to reach that stage. Again, developing a model. This is what the people do in healthcare. When you develop a model, first you have to train the machine. We have to put this data of, supposing the line 1, you have all the data of the first patient, second patient, third patient, all the data will be given. And also we'll record the outcome. Whatever the observational outcome, maybe outcome pneumonia good or whatever you record all of the outcomes for each one of these patients. Then based on that, we're going to develop the learning tree. That is, the algorithms will be developed. If X is this much, Y is how much, X is, whatever the numbers keep varying the X and the Y, you come up with the learning algorithms. Then we will have a model developed. It is the AI model developed, and that model will be tested. When you put a new patient data into that, we can predict what is the outcome for that, given this, whatever the factors that we put in, or whatever the information we put in about this new patient. So this is how the models are developed in this in medicine, for the healthcare, the AI models. But when you develop the model, you have to be very careful. So it is not just biological data about his disease, diabetes, heart failure, or hypertension. It's all about everything else about this patient. Because if you look at this, the pie diagram here, only 30% is genetic cause for that disease. If you look at this one, other causes are 70% is by social, behavioral, environmental, and healthcare access issues. That's why we need to in order to make your model comprehensive, you want to make sure include every data possible about that particular patient so that you will get that good information. Then next one is again developing about this, again, how well we develop these models. Again, you design and develop and identify the problems, and also we introduce the ethical implications for that. Then we evaluate and validate using the statistical tools. Then we can use this and get this approval, diffuse that, and apply that. And also we have to have the regulatory approvals. In America, all these healthcare artificial models that you develop, it has to be approved by FDA, the Federal Drug Administration. Then once you apply, then you need to monitor in the field whether they are doing their job, and also whether there is any safety issues with this one. So this is going to be a long process for each model that you develop. Then let's go to the potential problems. The potential problems of this technology is the data privacy. See that, and also ethical considerations, cultural sensitivity, and also its accessibility to diverse population. I told you that, so when these data are patient, whenever you put in this data, if somebody sees this data, it is actually they can take whole history of this patient, his social security number, everything about his patient can be done. And also ethical considerations. You cannot apply these models whatever you can, because you have to be ethically considerative about each models, and also sensitivity, and also we need to see whether this applies to all the diverse population. It applies to the Caucasians or the African Americans, or to the Hispanic populations, everybody else included, and all that. So that's why the WHO, the World Health Organization, make a very cautious statement. It is this technology, AI technology, is very promising only if ethics and human rights are put at the heart of its design. That's make really a bold statement about it. Has to be, you have to be ethical, you have to be, take into consideration human rights. And the potential bias is a particular concern about this one. When you develop this artificial intelligent algorithm, so decision trees, to train these data sets, you can be biased. You can be supposing you can select a population which only belong to the one race communities, or one higher socioeconomic status people. Then it increases when the same data is used for everybody else, it increases the health disparity. That's another thing too. Supposing, let's take this one. We have this skin cancer algorithm. That means, if I give a picture of that skin cancer and a patient picture to this instrument, what does it do? It's going to recognize and say the diagnosis, give me a diagnosis about that, whatever the picture that I give it. But if you have developed this skin cancer algorithms based on only the lighter skin, that is the Caucasians, it may not be effective for detecting the skin cancer among the dark skins, that is the African Americans. So you have to be careful including everybody else. That is one of the potential problems we are running into now. And then it's a transparency. Whenever you develop a model, it has to be transparent. It has to be made public. Otherwise, people will be always suspicious about that one. Then again, in the transparency, we need to make it public. How does this algorithms reach its results? And then also, where did the data come from? What are the sources of data? How are these processed? And also, how was the algorithm developed and validated? How did you validate this one? How do the pieces of this AI system work together to make a very good comprehensive picture of the event? So we need to have a good transparency, and also it has to be published so that people can be comfortable sharing the data with them. Another thing is the governance of the data. So governance of the artificial intelligence use. When you develop something, you probably develop with all this privacy and consent and all that thing, we developed it. When it is used, it has to be regulated. When it is regulated, when you use it, you may come up with the unintended consequences. There will be a risk and liabilities. Then in such case, you got to go back and modify the development process. Whatever is developed has to be modified or retuned or fine-tuned to make it really widely applicable. So we had governance is also another issues with this technology. Another serious concern is the equity and inclusion. That means can anybody give guarantee for fairness and equitability of this one? Because again, I told you that if you don't have right data, it may not give you the right picture, and also it may not include every section of the community. Suppose if you take the urban area where the downtown areas, we have a lot of these African Americans, if you take to the suburb areas, we have rich, affluent classes, So if you use it for one father, that's not going to be good. Okay, that's why we have to have this one. Another important one is this is a very important one with the cybersecurity. Like any other computer program, we have the issues with this one. Suppose you look at this picture here. This is the picture of the retina. This is the picture of the retina. When the computer reads, the AI program reads this one. Actually, this is actually reads this one. It says a healthy, no issues with that. Supposing somebody puts in some data into this, some hacker gets into the system and puts something data into that. Although picture looks the same, the AI technology will read this one as a patient has the diabetic retinopathy. That means he has the eye problem related to the diabetes. See, that somebody can break into the system and cause the problem. So we have to be careful. Supposing if these are used independently without any supervision, so we are giving the wrong treatment to the patients. We have to be careful about these hackers getting into the systems. And then again, so we have risk of personal data safety, which I already talked about it. And also this will have more problem when this AI becomes mainstream and also when it is commercialized. And also now people are hacking the computers and all that thing. Now they can hack this AI system and also manipulate the system, thereby and thereby leading to the wrong conclusions. There are some defense mechanism for that, infrastructure defense mechanism. When I showed you the last picture about the images about the eyes, we can always incorporate the digital fingerprints for these images. When you put those digital imprints, if somebody manipulates, it will alert the system that somebody manipulated, do not use the results. And also we can always have, for algorithms also, defense mechanism where we can constantly test this, use this next known sample and test the model and see whether the model is giving the accurate results or not. So if there is anything there, we can always find out, and then we can always modify or go back and correct the system. And another big deal about this artificial intelligence, and everybody's talking about this, is about employment displacement. Oh, this technology is coming, it's going to displace a lot of people from work. That's not true. If you take this one, supposing, let's see, this is because of people like this. The Sun Microsystem co-founder, I think you guys know this gentleman, actually, Vinod Khosla. He's a Stanford graduate, actually. He's a computer guy, a transfer guy, but he's the first one to make the statement. It's kind of a weird statement. Machine will replace 80% of the doctors. Healthcare is driven by entrepreneurs, not by medical profession. This is a very rubbish statement that is given by him. It's not true. Why it is not true? It may have, supposing if you take the radiology, the AI technologies can read the X-rays. Sorry, it can read the X-rays. It can read the X-rays and also pathology specimens. It can read the pathology specimens, but it has to be read in the context. Supposing if a radiologist is reading the X-ray in a dark room, the white, if you see that in a chest X-ray, if you see the white picture there, white, whatever the lesion there, it may account for the pneumonia, or it may account for the fluid in the lung. But if he knows that whether the patient is having the fever, whether the patient is having coughing, whether the patient has been sick for a while, you definitely say, based on this context, you will say it is because of the pneumonia, the patient has a pneumonia. You can make that diagnosis based on the context. And similarly, the pathologist can do that too. We can fine-tune this artificial intelligence to do the contextual inferences, but it cannot replace the radiologist completely. There may be some change, but not do that. Because this, human skills such as complex reasoning, judgment, analogy-based learning, and abstract problem solving cannot be replaced by AI. It may be the speed can be increased, storage can be increased by this artificial intelligence. It can be a better concluder, a calculator, but it is not a better thinker. It cannot. It can think whatever whatever the training that you, based on whatever the training that you provided, or a little bit extra, but you will not completely reverse the whole thing. And also there is an assumption that, actually I saw some of the video clips on the websites that, the assumption that humans are headed towards the technical singularity. That means, they assume that this artificial intelligence, whatever we are doing, will cause such an harm to the human being. That means, they become really super natural. They getting into they think a lot, and they multiply themselves on their own, and they will destroy the world. They will control the human being. That's all wrong assumptions, because if you take the artificial intelligence, and the types, there are 5 types actually. If you look at that thing, the last type is the last type is the thinking type. Thinking type is the way they have the emotion. Each one should have emotion. This artificial intelligence should have emotions, also should understand the emotions of other people. We don't have anything like that. When you create that kind of thing, it's not going to happen. That maybe somewhere we may think that that's going to happen. This is not going to happen. It will never happen, because we have to create that one. This one intentionally I put it there in this one. Actually, back in last year in August, we heard this news. One of the so in South Korea, we heard this news that one of the robot they were employing this robot as human model. That is, they were using as a civic servant to do the deliveries to people, different floors and everything else. It was doing the routine works, automated work, to take the mails from one place to other place and everything else. Actually, this was developed by one of the startup company in California. They bought this one, South Korea, one of the cities, they bought this one. They were using that one. When they found out that it actually failed while climbing up the stairs, and it found unresponsive. And the people started thinking about, it committed suicide, because they were asking them this computer, this robot, to do a lot of work. It committed suicide. I can't even imagine how. See, you have designed this one, and also you put in some knowledge for this one to do certain tasks. How can it extrapolate and make the decision to commit suicide? What I really think is that, probably they were reflecting their society. South Koreans, the highest suicide rate is noted among the OECD group. There are about 38 OECD, Organization of Economic and Cooperation and Development countries. There are 38 countries in that. The highest suicides are noted in that. They work around 52 hours a week, and also the companies were requesting for 69 hours per week. Actually, there was a big protest regarding that, and they actually, and also the suicide rate is high. Somehow, whatever it is, I know sometimes the people make up stories to believe all kinds of things. This is the picture actually developed by an artificial intelligence deep learning process. Actually, I put that term there. So it is not, whatever they thought is not the right thing. Anyway, then this is one of the last slide I have. Is it a hype or hope for future? When you take this, whenever there is a new technology is developed, what happens is this. So there will be some expectations, particularly for this artificial intelligence. There was a highest expectation. Because of this highest expectation that it received, any small thing, error happens, media will catch upon that, and thereby there will be a lot of attention given to that, even though it is not the true situation. Supposing, let's take this one, let's take the use of this artificial intelligence in using for the car driving. Actually, let's say Tesla car. I don't know whether we have Tesla. Then we may have in India too, automated cars driving, actually, where they drive on their own. When there is an accident, people think that, because of the hype they had, that highest expectation they had, the one mistake, they think that, this is bad. There will be a delusional trend here happens, because the expectation, the hype created for this is very high. actually, that is not a good thing. I mean, if you create so much in the expectation, people expect everything to happen in 100% or 90%. Even if you do 50%, nobody likes that one. So this causes the delusion among the people and leads to it actually affects interferes with the development of the technology itself. I think, so therefore, we need to simply understand the expectations of or the potentials of each technology and also limitations of the technology. Thereby, we can avoid this backlash of this one. There is always a hope with this technology. This is a future for this one, particularly in healthcare and even in agriculture. I saw some of the areas where they have used this in agriculture area also, where we can use this technology to complement the human work or complement or support the human work. There's a bright future for that. We can speed up our efficiency, and also in the healthcare workers, we can always improve our charting and all that thing. We can get help related to that, so that we can spend time with the more number of patients or more time. And also we can use in the rural area where we don't have any of those specialists available there. So I think there is a big future for this. Actually, I've been involved with this program more than a year now with this hospital. Actually, we have been having a very good success with these kind of things, and probably we are trying to adapt most of these things to help our patients and help ourselves, and there's a bright future for that. Now, with this, I'm going to stop. I don't know whether there is a questions and allowed or not. If you have any questions, kindly please email me. That is belakar@hotmail.com. I may not answer you this week. I'm quite busy this week, and probably I will definitely answer next week. If you have any questions, definitely you can send questions to me, and definitely and I will be willing to answer those questions. Is there any question session? Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Dr. Nataraj?
Yes, sir. Thank you. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Ramagowda for an excellent overview talk. We are really thrilled, and we learned now how to change the gear from agri field to the medical field. Thank you so much, sir. We have some queries and questions. I would request our Director of Research, Dr. K.C. Narayanaswamy, to initiate the discussion. Then we'll pick the questions, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much for excellent presentation on the topic, that is application of artificial intelligence in healthcare. See, in fact, you spoke very well on development or the history of artificial intelligence. And also you have clearly narrated the difference between the artificial intelligence and natural intelligence. Yeah, and application of artificial intelligence in the medical field, especially for diagnosis of diseases, monitoring of patients, and also drug driven discovery techniques. Say, in fact, so even in other fields also, this, the technology, it is being extensively applied. For example, not only in the medical field, even in the traffic management, criminology, aviation industry, weather forecasting, and communication, particularly in the field of communication. Nowadays, even it is gaining importance in the field of agriculture and allied sectors also. Definitely, in fact, we have understood very well, in fact, the application of artificial intelligence in various fields, particularly the medical field. In fact, this is a overall, the outlook. We can say a SWOT analysis of artificial intelligence, strengths of artificial intelligence, and also the opportunities and also the weakness we can also see. See, in fact, as you told, see, here it can support human beings, but it cannot replace the human beings, because so there is no creativity in the artificial intelligence. That means in robotics. In fact, your talk is very informative. In fact, we can, as such, we can apply this field, this technology in the field of agriculture. So now I request all the, the participant, to interact with Professor Ramegowda. Questions, please. Dr. Srikant Murthy, first.
Namaskara.
Namaskara.
Namaste.
Dr. Ramegaudre,
ಹೇಳಿ.
great transformation from agricultural extension to medicine.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೇಟ್ ನಾನು GKVK ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ AI ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎರರ್ ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ?
Okay, that's a good question actually. Anyway, so the margin of error depends on the technology we're going to use. Okay, so the thing is, when you develop the model, you keep improving the model till you reach 95% at least. 95%. Certain areas you cannot reach 95%. You can reach 70%. 70%. Even 70% is really good because that is guiding us to do something. That means the accuracy can be improved only by the data that you, based on the data that you provide. More data you provide, the machine learns good and give you the accurate information. More comprehensive data, supposing if you representative data that you provide is going to help. And also, it is not the mission models, not only this whatever the decision tree that you see, but also we use a lot of statistical tools to come up with an accurate measures. It's not like the regression analysis, whatever you have learned as a PhD student, all that. Actually, that's why I'm thrilled to participate in these things. I can use a regression model. I can use the non-parametric statistics I learned when I was in PhD. I can use those things. So there is a lot of things you have to use to come up with a thing. Accuracy, it depends on the area that you're trying. But the thing is, accuracy can be improved over a period of time. As the model matures, it will be more mature, more accurate. But the thing is, even if it is 70%, it's good. Actually, when you reach 95%, supposing if you do the statistical analysis, 95% is actually a good confidence level. We can approve everything. Even if you go to the FDA approval rate, you have to be 95 percentile to get the approval from the of any model that we use. So other models, whatever the models we try, 70%, 80%, we can try to just to limit, to enrich our knowledge and also to learn more and improving the efficiency of that machine. But when you reach 95%, we go and get that thing patented actually. So 95% is an appropriate level of accuracy, but it depends on the thing. If you go to the weather data, I don't think you can reach 95% because it's not, because the data that's set, whatever we have, old data may not be useful to predict the future because old and whatever the environment that we have is different from what we have now. That means it depends on the area that you apply.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are some questions on the chat box. I will, this is from our group here.
Yes, sir.
So one query, what we would like to know, what are the regulatory issues associated with artificial intelligence in healthcare?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any model that you develop, any new model developed, it has to be approved by the Federal Drug Administration. That means which approves the drug. It has to approve. You have to have the trials like any other trials for drug trials, or you have to have publications proving that your model is good. You have to have certain the publication level to approve that. This is they have to be approved by FDA. Sometimes what happens, some of if you go to the Amazon actually, I was looking up this, they have that web-based system in AWS where they have developed their own models. The people can go and use that model by paying them some money. That models appears to be tested well, and then many people, they go and just use that instead of developing a model, just go and use that model by paying them some money. Actually, that Amazon, actually, I was looking up, that's a $90 billion company where they're doing this just this cloud-based system, actually. They store the data, they do everything for you.
Yeah, thank you. So there is another issue which people talk about it, self-replicating machines or nano-based ideas where people can, or the molecules can interact themselves and do things like gray goo concept. Do you have such kind of debates going on here?
Not in the medicine as such. I understand what you're talking about, particularly in the field of drug development, they have those ideas and thoughts, but I'm not involved in that kind of things. I don't want to comment too much on that. My areas is to improve the practice management and make sure that we are efficiently work and efficiently do the thing and take care of the patients and whatever the disease diagnosis. Those are the things that my areas pertain to that. If you go to the drug as such, you do definitely have those. I heard about those discussions, but never interacted and learned more about that.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
another question which I would like to read out from the chat box: how easy or difficult to change the field of study and career the way you did?
Wonderful. Actually, this is the thing. That's why I want you to challenge all this postgraduate students. I want to be a little bit of a motivational speaker now. Okay. The thing is, nothing is impossible. I'm not a smart guy. I'm a hard worker. I'm trained by Dr. Jairamaya. He's such a hard worker and he's very organized. And also Dr. Narayan Gowda, Vice Chancellor, and Seth Rao, Jadesh Srinivas. When you look at those personalities, you learn from them. Something I took home is the hard work, humbleness and hard work. If you have hard work, you can win anything you want. Actually, we went to medical school when we were in the 40s. Okay, let me be honest with you. My kid was 5 years old. With that, both of us sitting in the class side by side, learning medicine and learn that one. So I'm from agricultural extension. When I can do something like this, you can do. These guys are smarter. Then nowadays the new generation is really smart. They can do anything they want if they have the will, if they put up their hard work. I really want to challenge them that nothing is impossible in this world. You can become anything. In fact, I'm sorry, actually, even at this age, I get excited about any small things. You have to be curiosity cat. When you then only you try to learn more and learn more and try to compete with the world. That's what I do. And that's my passion, actually. And even, I have very good support from Jayanti, my wife. That's where, both of us although we have a very simple life in the rural area, but we do dedicate ourselves to our careers. And both of us are doing well with this in this field.
Thank you so much, sir, for this inspiring talk again. And I quote your example in my class to inspire our students. That's the need of the hour now. We don't have to give the information in the class. Our goal is to inspire them. So USB is changing the gear in that direction. And we pick your example without asking your permission. We are doing that. So
it's very kind of you, sir. Very kind of you. And thank you very much. And thank you all giving this opportunity. I'm really honored, actually. In fact, when she called me about coming to and giving this lecture, actually I was quite busy. I had the COVID surge. We had a lot of COVID patients. At the same time, we had a hurricane. One of my farm house roof was displaced. With all that, I never wanted to give up. Although I gave a hard time not to answer her back. And I'm really, she actually continued to keep calling me to maintain my interest. And I never wanted to give up. I really wanted to give back to my college where I studied. Actually, it's a great honor you guys have invited me. I'm really thankful for you guys. I really wish all of you the best of luck and all your graduates best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very
On
much.
behalf of US Bangalore, really, we are grateful to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you all.
thank you, sir. We'll get back to you soon, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning to all the dignitaries present over here. Myself, Aishwarya. I'm from Agricultural Extension Department. Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Ramegowda sir, for giving insightful talk about AI in healthcare, their potentials and problems. Here, this week, we are celebrating Postgraduate Annual Science Week 2024. Yes, this week we celebrate the brilliant minds and groundbreaking research of our postgraduates. Science is the driving force behind progress, and our postgraduate students are at the forefront of this journey. This week, we celebrate their dedication, hard work, and contributions to the scientific community. So welcome back to the second day of our postgraduate science week. I hope you are all energized and ready for another exciting day. So yesterday we had a fantastic start with inaugural program at Kuvempu Auditorium, GKVK, Bangalore. The inauguration of Science Week began with a warm welcome by Dr. K.C. Narayanaswamy, Directorate of Education and Dean of Postgraduate Studies, US, Bangalore. The event featured with the release of compendium of posters and an inaugural talk and an insightful keynote presentations by the chief guest, Professor K.N. Ganeshaya, a former Dean of Postgraduate Studies at US Bangalore and a senior scientist at INSA Bangalore, which sparked some insightful and engaging discussions. And the presidential remarks were given by Dr. S.V. Suresha, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of US Bangalore. The event conducted with a vote of thanks by Dr. N.B. Prakash, Dean of College of Agriculture, GKVK. So yesterday was a remarkable start to our week. We had inspiring sessions and thought-provoking discussions. And as we come to the outline of the yesterday's agenda, which goes as morning sessions, whereas oral presentations by the PhD scholars from the diverse departments as the crop protection, which is held at Department of Agricultural Entomology Seminar Hall, and we explored critical strategies for crop protection as the strength of our food system lies in our ability to protect our crops from the threats. And the social sciences, which is located at and held at the Cost of Cultivation Seminar Hall, Department of Agricultural Economics, and we realized that the social science in agriculture bridges economic insights with extension practices for holistic development and sustainability. And the third one is crop improvement. It was held in Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding Seminar Hall. We discussed advancements in crop improvement, and as innovative crop improvement strategies are the key to the future agricultural success and food security. And the fourth was food security and technology, which was held at Dr. R. Dwarkinath Hall, Department of Agricultural Extension, and we dwelled into the latest in food science and technology as food progress in the food science is crucial for enhancing food quality and addressing global nutritional needs. And poster presentations, forenoon we explored the poster presentations by our MSc scholars at North Block Foyer and Lobby, where it goes as crop production as effective crop production techniques are vital for advancing agricultural practices and ensuring food security, and posters on microbiology, forestry and environmental science and horticulture, and these disciplines helped us to understand and manage our environment more effectively. And the afternoon sessions were like crop production, as advancement in crop production are fundamental to meet the growing demands of global agriculture. And we also covered agricultural meteorology, agronomy, soil science, farm machinery, and power engineering, soil and water conservation engineering, as addressing these areas is crucial for building resilient and efficient agricultural system. And when we come to today's session, we also covered today's inaugural talk by Dr. Ramegoda sir about AI in healthcare, potentials and problems. And thank you so much for such meaningful insights. And let's continue this movement from yesterday to today's sessions, equally impactful. Thank you for your attention, and let's dive into another day of learning and innovation. Thank you.
Very good.
So with this, we will enter into the.
Yes, Dr. Ganesh Murthy, we will be moving to the parallel sessions now.
Parallel session will start now.
Yeah.
Speaker off now. Okay. The parallel session will be starting in the concurrent sessions will be starting in the respective departments. I request the teachers and students to join there so that the session can be started and sessions can go ahead. So thanks to all of you for joining this online session. We are now closing the session.